it's your favorite trainer with a belt buckle. Today we're going to go over everything upright row. Is it good? Is it bad? Should you be doing it? Where? We're going to teach you everything about this exercise today. If you're not familiar with Show Up Fitness, it's where great trainers are made. We have in-person internships, San Diego, Los Angeles, Austin, online, and we're also having weekend seminars. The schedule is released. Make sure to check out the book, How to Become a Successful Personal Trainer. So let's start. Boom! Let's get weird. All right, you see people doing this. Is it right? Is it wrong? How to do it? Woo! The upright row is a great exercise for your shoulder, your deltoid. We have an anterior portion, a lateral medial portion, and a posterior. Exercises are on a continuum. It's a U-shaped curve. There's very few exercises that are just terrible. Bench dips, terrible, stupid, don't do them. Tinkerbell jumps, stupid, don't do them. Upright rows are fine, but you gotta ask, why are you doing them? How are you doing them? And where are you doing it in your program? And so when you see people come in here and they go really, really high, I typically don't like that. Another common mistake you're gonna see is you see people come down really fast. Whoop! So let's take a look at Skelly in the skeletal anatomy. Here's the humerus. Here's the clavicle, the most broken bone in the human body. We got our friend the scapula. Together, the humerus and the scapula form the glenohumeral joint. You also have the acromioclavicular, scapulothoracic, and then the acromioclavicular is the fourth joint of the shoulder. What happens is, when we come in too close, we're going to take the head of the humerus, and it starts to slowly migrate off of the platform of the scapula. It's called your glenoid cavity. And so when we internally rotate too much, down here, Scally. When you come in too much, you're placing the head in a precarious position. It's just not optimal for movement, especially when you get really, really high up here. The sub means underneath, acromial space right here is doesn't have that much space to begin with, and now you're just compressing a lot of this anterior capsule. So if you have shoulder issues, it's typically not the best to go really high. If you're an overhead athlete, typically don't suggest you doing upright rows really high. The eccentric component is really important too. So when I lift something, I've concentrically accelerated elbow flexion. So if you come down really fast, it means you're lacking the neurological control and strength. So when people go high and they drop it, you're not optimizing the exercise. And another important thing to look at is where you're doing it in your program. We want to optimize tension first. So that's going to be like our military press. I want this exercise to be first in my program, full range of motion. Second, maybe landmine press. At the end, I like to do upright rows. And by doing that, you're not going to have as much load on there. So then we have to worry as much if we were to come a little higher, and if we were to not control it down, it's not nearly as dangerous. Now, if you did this first, I'll be a little concerned because you're gonna have a tendency to really load it up. And then if you don't have the good form, it could mess up your shoulder. So when it comes to the upright row, it's a fine exercise. It's great for the medial head. Some people call it lateral head. You do lateral raises, medial. I've talked to therapists like potato, doesn't matter. The middle part, the anterior part, and then the posterior part. It hits all three heads of your deltoid. It also hits all three parts of your traps, lower, middle, and upper. Once you go above about 90 degrees, it's all trapezius. So here, deltoid, and when you go real high, you're going to be focusing on the traps. So you got to ask yourself, why are you doing this? There's a lot of other exercises that will give you more bang for your buck. Farmers carries, power cleans and snatches. That's really going to help with this development. Upright row is fine to do. Make sure when you do it, you're not coming in too close with your hand position. I like to go right to my sternum, super slow on the way down, up, hold, and we're coming down. And if you want to superset it with some lateral raises, into a farmer's carry, that little cluster right there would be great for some Jack Brock Lesnar traps and deltoids. Now you're an expert with the upright row. You know how to do it, when to do it, where to do it within your programming. Like, subscribe, comment. If you want to become a great trainer, you got to show up. Los Angeles, West Hollywood, Austin, Texas. We're also online. We have weekend seminars. Love to know where you're at or where you're struggling with working out, with programming, nutrition. We got you covered. Have a great day.